Sup friends, it's Necro Nicki and Sitri Tricky. Sitri has become my main demon out of my crew. But before I go on about him, I wanted to say a few things about Lilith. This video was initially supposed to be about Lilith, but I rarely vibe with female deities. And she's the only female demoness I've ever wanted to contact. We have very similar energy current types, whereas I just vibe with a lot of what she's about. Lust energy. I wouldn't say we're so dominant. It's just the fact that we demand to be treated equal at the very least. So, here's a painting I did called the Scarlet Shadow Transformation. It's in my Etsy shop. The link is going to be in the description below, along with some crystals that I'm going to be showing. And I hadn't worked with red essence energy, like my red essence in particular, on sigils. And for years, I finally realized that it was because I was ultimately supposed to do my red essence energy ritual with her first. So anytime I'd want to do it with any other being, she would tell my higher self no. I call my black star self. And she would tell that entity or demon no as well, and it just wouldn't happen until it finally happened when I tried doing it with her, and it was so easy. And then she told me, yeah, you were supposed to do that with me first, and that there was a reason behind it. So I see this as a reaper-like shadow with a black void, and through that veil, the scarlet peering through. So, when working with Lilith recently, I had one of the most terrifying days of my entire life. And I was at a point where I wasn't sure if I was supposed to ascend a certain way, or if it was a test for me to slither my way out and become more snake-like. I chose the second option for now. And with the crystals I wanted to show you, I'm very much into scrying. Also, that painting is consecrated. All my art and crystals I usually consecrate. And so, just so you know that, if you ever don't want a certain energy on them, then you could always just cleanse it when you get it. I mean, you should really cleanse anything that you buy anyway, unless it's specifically charged for a certain purpose that you want to keep it that way. This is one of my favorite stones here. There are red flames in the stone. So cool. I've actually seen scenes of images in this particular crystal and what she wanted me to work with fire energy. Here's another one. I see it as a balance between fire energy and the void. So having that balance of my own personal energy, especially since I'm a fire sign and I very much vibe with her, and my own essence. It has like an orangey tone to it. Orange is my favorite color. Also the black and gray, that void-like, just being one with the darkness that surrounds us. This one I really like because it looks like an eyeball to me. And sometimes I just kind of let the crystals speak to me. What's awesome is they each have their own message. And it's easy for entities to communicate with you through those vibrations. Another art piece I want to share, but this one's actually not for sale, is Iwas, Awas, who I like to call Lamb. I've grown my distance from him, and it's just the best and nicest way I could put that. So, with that said, well, it's kind of a long story, but when I got initiated into the cult, someone performed a malicious ritual on me. The same day, I realized that I wanted to get into, we'll just say, the cam world, and it was my purpose. I wasn't really sure because some of my friends were saying, yeah, do it. Some were saying not to, and I knew it was part of my path. So I asked my friend at the time, and he's like, do it. And it was just pretty crazy how it was the same day he put this ritual on me. I telepathically communicated with Lamb and saw him. Didn't know what he looked like because my friend had told me an entity had been wanting to contact me, but he couldn't say his name. So I did a meditation. It was my first time really doing a meditation about something like this. And with the painting that I have, actually, another thing that inspired me was that before I did that, I had, and this is after I met my Black Star self and fell in love with myself. I'll go into that story in another video, but a crow was knocking at my window, and I heard a audible voice say out loud, "You are the Scarlet Woman, you are the Scarlet Woman, you are the Scarlet Woman." To me, that just was another confirmation about my path. I'm not saying I'm the Scarlet Woman, I'm just, that is part of who I am. That's just the best I can explain it. For instance, like, you know, some say they're fallen or they're the fallen ones. I feel as though that's just what they're about, being fallen. I am a fallen one, but also I am a scarlet one. Now on to Sitri. Initially, when contacting Sitri, I wasn't too interested. I was looking for different demons with less energy because obviously that's what I'm about, like I've mentioned many times. And so he came up. Someone seemed to have some good things to say about him. I was really busy the day I evoked him and just did a quick meditation, felt his energy. And that day after, a lot of things were going my way effortlessly. And when it did, I would feel his presence. Okay, and then not too long after, someone was saying some very not nice things about Sitri. I had his back because even though I had a very brief experience with him, I felt as though it was necessary to speak my mind on that particular situation and experience. After that, a few days later, I did a serious invocation. The flame of the candle I was using was dancing around and getting so big. I had never seen so much energy in a candle before. Also, at the heightened point of the ritual, hundreds of birds were outside my apartment, loud as hell. So, around that time, I was supposed to do a necromancy ritual and get in touch with certain dark energies, and it didn't end up panning out. So Sitri was telling me, hey, I got you. So he took me to one of the houses, even had me set up an area where I have like my own place in that astral realm. got to feel and understand certain energies, such as fresh souls, old souls, soon to be souls, and to keep in the mindset of immortality. What I find intriguing is a lot of people who speak on Sitri speak of, oh, very quick, either romantic flings or short-term results. My experience is quite the opposite. Anytime I have to speak to him about something, he's very concerned with, well, how long-term is this? And he's very tricky in the sense where he'll put words in my mouth. I did a ritual with Sitri and I was putting my red essence on the sigil, and usually I say something along the lines of, my red essence is going on the sigil, is going like on your sigil to connect to you. And he had me say your red essence. So pretty much saying that my red essence was his. And that was the first time he really put words in my mouth like that. And I was, okay, I get you. And then on the anniversary of Charles Manson's passing, I channeled Charlie. We talked, had a grand time. I was speaking with him. Towards the end of it, Sitri decided to possess him and just turned it all around. It was just so funny. I was like, no way. He just has prank after prank. He's ruthless, hilarious. Yeah, we are going to be close into eternity. So perfect. Yeah, one thing is though, he won't really ask me for things, but he'll trick me into things and I'll know what he likes, but I guess it's kind of like I do the same thing to him, so it's all good. Yeah. Oh, one situation, he had me give a message to someone and I just wouldn't have dreamed of the situation turning out like that. It was very inevitable and interesting. He just flips things around and tries to get me to accomplish certain tasks, but the result is quite different from the beginning of the journey. Fun times though, for sure. And wow, he even is quite tricky with how he gives me what I want in return. Like very last minute, unexpected, like, oh, well, thank you. And yeah, his appearance is that he has super long black hair, pale gray skin, and a long black coat, or cloak, rather. That's pretty much it, to be honest. And I am going to be doing a necromancy ritual today at the cemetery. He's going to be working with me for that. So, like I said, he's not just for romantic flings and lust, so much more than that. And his energy is quite overwhelming, but I like that. I like intense. I'm intense myself, so I need that intenseness back, and just feeling his presence with me and giving me the attention I desire and deserve. So I'm thinking about, in my next video, sharing about my name and how I feel about necromancy, what I'm about more, and the ritual that I'm going to be performing later today. So stay tuned, and until next time.